Sup everybody, TG Yellow Swag X here. This is my guide on how to get 2.2k in RBGs by win trading. Right, what you want to do is get 20 people. You can get a lot of people who are up for win trading on QuakeNet. There's a channel called wintrade.eu or wintrade.us. Right, once you got the 20 people split into two raid groups of 10, you're gonna need a way of communicating with everyone, preferably like Skype or Ventrilo with TeamSpeak. Raid call is a nice one because it's free and people can't find your IP through that. Right, next up, you're gonna need to assign roles to people in your groups. You're gonna need one leader for each group. They're gonna be responsible for queuing up, leaving queues, and doing countdowns on whatever voice communication you're gonna be using. Next up, you're also gonna need one relogger on each team. It's really important that the reloggers both have an approximately the same login time, so they can both log in and log out at the same time. And this is really important. You'll understand it later. But once you've got everything set up, you've got your roles picked, and your everyone is on TeamSpeak or Skype, you're good to go. Now, the way this is gonna work is the leaders are gonna do a countdown, at which point they're both gonna queue up at the same time. Once the reloggers see the yellow letters, like your team has joined the queue for the rated battleground, both reloggers are gonna log out right away. It's really important that there is no delay between seeing the letters and logging out. You can make a macro that's like /camp, I think. Yeah, and you're gonna need both reloggers to stand at an inn or a major city, obviously, to be able to log out instantly. Alright, from that point on, you're gonna wait. The first thing you're gonna wait for is the average waiting time to disappear. There's a counter if you mouse over the thingy near your minimap. There's a counter called your timing queue, and there's another one for the average wait time. First of all, you're gonna wait for the average wait time thing to disappear. That means you're phased out of the queue for now, pretty much, because you have someone offline in your group. That means the queue cannot pop you at the moment. Once that person reconnects, you will be able to, join the battleground again. But that's the first thing you're gonna wait for. It'll probably disappear like 10 seconds after the guys have logged out. Next up, you might want to wait like 5-6 minutes at first, at which point the reloggers are gonna do a countdown again. Both reloggers log back in, and hopefully they'll log back in at exactly the same time, and the queue is gonna pop for both teams. If the queue does not pop for both teams, it could mean a lot of things. It could mean you waited too long. If you wait over 7 minutes, you can get any other team that is in the queue. Or it could also mean that your MMR is a bit off. But don't worry, the more games, the more matches you get against each other, the more the MMR is going to balance itself off. And the easier it will be to meet each other. And the shorter you also have to wait between matches and between relogging. So the keyword here is really patience and just keep trying. And consistency, of course. If you have people who are leaving and coming back and leaving, it's going to mess everything up because the MMR is going to be changing all the time, which will make it even more difficult to match against each other. So really, consistency and patience. Just get people you can trust and can stay for a while. Alright, well, if you do get so lucky to match against each other and queue pops both teams at the same time, one team is going to be winning and one team is going to be losing. The winning team is simply going to join the battleground. The losing team, however, is going to be faking a disconnect. The way you do this, and this is really the key to win trading, is you're gonna hit enter battle, and as soon as you hit that, you gotta make sure that you actually press the button, and as soon as you've done that, you hit Alt F4, or you close down your WoW process, whatever is quicker. I suppose Alt F4 is the quickest way, but you gotta make sure that you really do it ASAP before the battleground actually loads, otherwise it's going to... Right, and this is the point. If you do that, you disconnect before actually loading the battleground, but after joining it, meaning you will not lose rating or MMR for losing the battleground, but you won't lose MMR or rating for not joining it either. So you're kind of in limbo there. This is what you want to hit. Just the short time window between hitting the button and loading. Right. So once the losing team has done that, the winning team is pretty much free to just go ahead and win the battleground. It's going to take about 5 to 9 minutes, depending on the battleground. As for the losing team, now this is important. You can log back in right away to the character selection screen. At your character selection screen, if you can see the zone where you logged out, that means the zone where you stood before you entered the battleground, it's safe to log back in right away, even if the battleground has not even started yet. If you cannot see a zone, if it's just an empty space, or if you can see the battleground under the character, on the character selection screen, it's not safe to log in. And if you log in, it will count you as entering the battleground, meaning you will lose MMR and rating for losing the battleground. So that's something you want to avoid. However, if you just wait for the battleground to be finished, it's safe enough to log back in. Right. So once the losing team has done that, the winning team is pretty much free to just go ahead and win the battleground. It's going to take about 5 to 9 minutes, depending on the battleground. You know, eventually the winning team will win, with the losing team not losing anything. The next game you switch, and just keep going like that. There's a bunch of issues you can run into while doing this, but most of them are caused by human error, so just don't invite imbeciles into your party and you'll be fine. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, like, a bunch of people are going to claim that this is a bannable offense and whatnot. But, to be honest, it's been in the game since Season 10. And like, why would Blizzard put something in the game and keep it in the game for 2 seasons if they did not want you to do it? I'm kidding, of course. It is a bannable offense, but, you know, Blizzard don't seem to be doing much about it, so it's fairly safe to do. Unless you go over an extreme rating, like 3,500 or something. If you just want to get your tier 2, you're probably not going to get banned for this. But you know, hopefully enough people will start doing this so that they will actually pull their shit together and fix it. Probably not, though. Anyway, DG Yellow Swag Axe here. Peace out.